Well, hello, Tess. Nice to have you back again this year.
Thank you. It's nice to be back.
Well, good. And you're with Dream Big Little One. You're the one that has started this whole wonderful project.
Yes.
And I've got a few questions for you, and then if you think of a story that you want to tell, you just tell us all about how things are going.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Since you were here last time, you've got different locations now that have started giving beds to children other than here in Crawford County.
Yes, so we are based out of Columbus, as you know. But even though we're based out of Columbus, that's by far not the only county that we service. We actually do a lot of in Crawford County. We service a lot of children here in Crawford County. It's probably our biggest county. The grant process helps with that. We're able to receive some grants over here. And so that's helped with that. But we've also reached kids over in Missouri. So we couldn't handle, because we didn't have enough space in Columbus, we couldn't handle like having all of the inventory in our store over there. And just logistics was not easy. So I had a lady by the name of Lori Scott contact me. And this was just something that was just really, really on her heart. And I'll be honest, at first I was like, oh, I don't know if we can do a second location, because I just didn't know if we could. But she was just really persistent, and I could tell it was just really, really on her heart that she really wanted to do this. And so we were just like, you know what, we're going to take a leap of faith. And if this is meant to be, it's meant to be. And so now we have a second location in Golden City. So we are routing all of those kids who are from Missouri over to her center. And she is just like, I mean, she has gotten out in the community to promote Dream Big, to tell everybody about it, and to spread awareness to the businesses and to people over there that, you know, there are kids in every county who are sleeping on the floor or couch or whatever. So, yeah, we've been able to make that successful. And it's going really well.
And it's been going about a year now, hasn't it?
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes, yeah.
And you had a big party fundraiser thing when you first opened it up. Now, is it located
Yes.
on the main street there in?
So I'm not real familiar with Golden City. I can get to two places, Cookies and Dream Big. And they're like just a few blocks away from each other. So if you're a Cookies fan, you can just go right down and
Gotcha.
drop off your donations at Dream Big, I guess.
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
Now, you also had a cookie walk that you started.
We did.
Yeah. Tell
We
us how
had
that
never
went.
done a cookie walk before. We didn't know what we were getting into, but I actually saw it as a fundraiser that another nonprofit had, and it looked fun. I mean, who doesn't like cookies? So I presented it to our board, and they thought it sounded pretty good. We got a few volunteers to kind of help us, you know, just try to figure out how to put one together. And we thought, if it goes over good, we'll do it again. Maybe it can be an annual event for us. So one thing about Columbus, and I also noticed about Crawford County, people like to bake. And like me, I love to bake, but it's just me and my husband, and we have our grandkids every now and then, but I'll sit there and I'll eat everything I bake. So it makes me to where I don't want to bake as much, but I still love to. So we gathered up so many ladies who have that same desire. They just want to bake and they want to give, but they don't want it sitting around their house to eat. We had so many different types of cookies. It was just unbelievable. I was a little bit nervous at first because, you know, people will say, yeah, I'll help or I'll do this. But then it's like, are they really going to remember? But they did. They came out in full force. I mean, we had so many awesome bakers. And then we had a lot of great volunteers who actually worked the event. We had it Super Bowl Sunday, and it was from 2 to 4, so just 2 hours, but it went over really well. You could get, I think that was the 12th of February, and so Valentine's was 2 days later, so people were able to come get their cookies for their Super Bowl party, and then some people got cookies for their Valentine's.
That's great.
We raised enough money with that, everybody pitching in together. We raised enough money to buy 9 kids a new bed.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, it was totally worth it. So we're going to have a yearly cookie walk.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be bigger next year.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
That's awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome. So how can somebody volunteer for Dream Big?
So we have a website called donatebeds.com. they can get on that website and they can go to the volunteer page and they can say if they would like to volunteer at the Columbus location or if they would like to volunteer at Golden City. There are so many different ways that you can volunteer. Sometimes people will drop off items that maybe they just need washed to freshen up. So we have a couple of ladies who will actually come in and take that laundry home and wash it, and then they bring it back, which is a wonderful way to volunteer because you don't have to go in. You can do it anytime you want. And it's a lot for just one person to try to stay caught up with. We tried to put a washer and dryer in our building, but it was just going to be too much work to try to install one. Our building's old, so we couldn't make that happen. So when we reached out on Facebook, there were a couple of ladies who were interested in helping that way. And then we also have people who would like to come up to the store and volunteer their time. So right now we are open Thursday through Saturday at the Columbus location from 10 to 2. And what those ladies have been doing is they just come in and they go through the items that are donated and they sort those through. And then their favorite part, my favorite part too, is when you actually prepare a bed for the child. So when the kids get a bed, they also get all of these wonderful things that like you guys have made and purchased. They get the sheets, they get blanket, a comforter. Pillows have to be brand new, which is why we love getting these pillowcases because we want to make it fun. We don't want to just hand them a brand new pillow. We want to make it fun. So they get their pillow, and then they have books and a couple of stuffed animals. And then like these, they get a dream pillow. And so the whole reason behind like the whole creation about a dream pillow is it's a comfort item so they can sleep with this at night. So you have that you can do. You can volunteer in store and prepare bedding and just maintain the store. Or if you're a sewer, you can sew. We always need dream pillows and we always need pillowcases. Those are like two things that because every single bed gets those items. Mm-hmm. So then some of the men that we have been lucky enough to have, and their wives or partners, whatever, we have some that just like to drive and they will go pick up donations. So say somebody contacts us and they want to donate a gently used bed, like a full or whatever it can be, but they don't have a way to bring that to us, then we have volunteers who will go and pick those items up and bring them back to our location. And that, again, is a wonderful way to volunteer.
That's awesome.
Very, very helpful.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. And to date, how many beds? Now, you started in, 3 years ago, or is it just?
I started in November of 2019. I started that out of my garage. Mm-hmm. And now we have the 2 service centers. And in Columbus only, we have given out, as of today, 1,124 beds.
That is.
And this is, this is free of charge. Like, we don't ask the families for anything. And it's made possible by the community and grants, but mostly by the community is how we're able to do this. And it's an amazing gift to be able to give a child for so many reasons.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And last year when you were here, I think we were right at 700 beds or
See, I was trying to remember
700.
and I couldn't remember where we were at.
So that is in a year's time. That's how many more beds you've.
We average around 35 a month.
That is just unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Through this and talking about your organization, my dad told me he never had his own bed till he was 15. And I never knew that.
Yeah.
So, see, it happens in a lot of families.
It does. Yeah, it does.
And for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
And, tell me a story that sticks out with you about a child maybe that has received a bed.
Well, there are so many. We had a 5-year-old little boy who knew he was getting a bed. He and his father had been homeless. And he was actually over in Joplin, and this was early on. And I think this is why I will always remember him. Because at that time, it was just me borrowing my husband's truck and trying to find a friend who would still answer the phone because everybody knew what I wanted when I was calling. Hey, can you help me? And but we delivered this bed over to this little boy and his dad. They had been homeless. They had just gotten the keys to their new home. Dad had just gotten a job. And so he knew that this bed was coming. And it was over in Joplin, and we were having trouble kind of finding the apartment. And, you know, they were just a bunch of apartments clustered together. But anyway, when we came around the corner, we saw this little boy. And when he saw us with the beds in the back, he started jumping up and down. And we were just dying laughing because, like, when we stopped the truck, I don't even think we were stopped completely. And he was in the back of my truck, and he was trying to take the tie downs apart. And his dad was like, hold on, let the ladies get it for us. But he was just so extremely happy and so thankful. And, you know, I remember his dad has always stuck with me. The little boy asked him, he said, hey, Dad, this is my new bed. Don't you love it? And the guy was like, oh, I sure do, you know. And he's like, Dad, where are you going to sleep? And, you know, it kind of broke my heart because we decided that this would be a children's ministry only. But it was real quick. Like, Dad didn't even hesitate. He's like, hey, don't worry about me. I'm going to sleep right here on the floor by you in your new bed. And he was like, I just wanted to make sure you had a bed, buddy. And it spoke volumes to me about how these parents are just so grateful. We've had kids. We had one girl, she was 16. She wasn't really taking care of herself, but once she got her bed, the worker reported that she was really taking care of herself. And what I mean by that is her hygiene wasn't the best. And so they noticed that she started taking showers, and she was making her bed, and she was keeping her room cleaned, picked up. And it was her self-esteem that really improved after that, you know. So it's when you give these kids beds, it affects so much. It affects their school grades, their self-esteem, their self-worth, just all of that. It comes up when they're given their beds. And then to see the parents too. You know, we've had a lot of single moms. They've fled from a domestic violence. They're going to a new town. They don't know anybody. They're broke. They've left all of their possessions behind. And so when they find out that their children are getting a bed free, and then they come in and they see all of the luxury items or the comfort items that go with that bed, because I think a lot of them think they're just getting a mattress to put on the floor, but it's not. It's the complete bed. And when they see that and they really see what they're being gifted, we've had so many parents, especially moms, just go down on one knee and just completely sob and ask, why are you doing this for us? Like, you don't even know us. And I always tell them, like, we just want you to know what it feels like to be loved. We want you to remember how it feels to be loved and to know that we're here for you as a community.
Yeah,
So,
that's wonderful.
yeah, you see things with the kids, but you also see it with the parents too.
It's just wonderful. Now, why don't you tell us if I had something to donate, but I don't want to drive to Columbus, where can I
Yes.
take and drop
Okay,
things
so we
off?
have some new locations, so give me
Okay,
just a
we have
minute
some
here.
drop-off
Just in
locations.
case,
All right.
I don't want to leave anybody out. So here in Pittsburgh, we have Possibility Junction, who's located on 4th Street, and then we have Jayhawk Signs and Graphics. They are over there on North Grand. And then if you are in Columbus, and we're not open because we're only open a few days during the week, Farm Bureau is also a location for us to drop off. And then in Columbus, Hale Vision is one of our newer places over there. And then as of today, Crowder College Bookstores has offered to be drop-off locations. And they are in Cassville, Nevada, Webb City, Pineville, McDonald County, and Neosho. So we've been really blessed to have all of these locations want to be a part of this. And when I say these are drop-off locations, those places will take like the smaller items, not necessarily the beds like the mattress and the box springs. Those we either have to pick up or they have to be dropped off in Columbus or Golden City.
Great.
So yeah, it's a wonderful service that they're offering to us.
I have dropped off several things.
Yeah,
here
yeah.
For
Makes it handy.
It does. It makes it real handy, and I know that you're picking them up from there, or your other volunteers are bringing
Yes,
them over.
they
to
contact us pretty soon when they have a nice little pile,
Yeah.
and we'll come up and get it out of their way and wait for the next phone call. It's really nice.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I can't thank you enough for coming and sharing your story again.
Yes, I'm
And-
really thankful that you gave me the opportunity to come back. Yeah, it means a lot.
Yeah,
Just
I'm gonna
having
give
the
you a hug.
awareness.
I'll give you a hug. You're
Thank
just
you.
Awesome. You're just awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.